Today I'm replacing the fuel pump here on a 60 horsepower 4-stroke Mercury. This one's a 2001, so it's a carbureted model. All the rest after are EFI, fuel injection, and I'm going to be replacing it. The first thing I'll do is cut the ties, cable ties. These aren't actually cable ties, these are actually hose ties. These actually have a Quicksilver or Mercury part number. They're curved head zip ties. They actually don't have a square head, but they actually, I'll show you one. If you can see this, do we have a good background? I'll hold it up against the back. See that right up here where my finger is, it is actually curved, that head, rather than being a square head. So especially on small diameter hoses, that curve helps you cinch up better. If it was a flat head, you end up with a flat on a significant portion of your hose diameter, and it could potentially leak. So this is actually a outboard part specific cable tie, but it's a hose tie, actually, a fuel tie. So I went and got a knife. Screwdriver would be a little safer, but just to help pry that off, when you pull, it sort of restricts it more. It's better to push it off. I had this off earlier last week when I was checking lines, taking off lines, blowing through to see if they were okay. There, that came. One other thing, if none of this works, I'll be replacing these lines. They look pretty fresh. It's possible there's some debris or a rubber flap, something detached inside, deteriorated. So I just remember the big one. I know that comes from the front, and it says right on here, in. So we've got in and out, and there's a middle one we don't use in the middle. It's still got the plug cable tied on it. Okay, we have a 10mm socket here. This metal thing here is called a, I forget what they call it, a guard or a fender. It's just so you don't whack it when you put the cover on it. It's a guide. I think they call it a guide. It's underneath the head of the screws that hold the fuel pump on. So it'll come off with the fuel pump. Okay. Got that. So this guard is not symmetrical. Just remember, it's got the big side down. Right there, right there. So, whoops, there's fuel coming out of it. It's full of fuel. So there is the plunger. Here it's sucking inside, but also you can hear the air. Here's the other one. This one's stiffer, it's different, so it makes me wonder. The heights are the same, everything is the same. Yeah, exactly the same, it appears. Right here, notice there's a big fat O-ring here. I'm going to take that off and transfer it to the other. It doesn't come with the fuel pump, and it's actually, they sort of list it, but it's actually part of the engine list, I believe. The engine part list, that is. I'm looking at it. It seems pretty good to me, so I'm going to reuse it. A lot of people say don't reuse stuff, but it still feels flexible, pliable. So let me just take a peek inside. So this is running off inside. There's a lever, and somehow that lever, I have to look at the engine, but it somehow is running off a lobe of the camshaft, I believe. So there is no face gasket, nothing like that, just that O-ring. little caps are on here. Okay, the O-ring is installed. This is going to go on. Yeah. The guard, the thicker side down. Make sure the washer is still on. It's just a flat washer. These did have a dab of Loctite on them. So I am going to go get some Loctite. Okay, I did not have the video camera running for the last couple minutes. I'll describe what I actually did. That's unfortunate, but I installed the fuel pump. It has the O-ring on the back. You put it in place. I had put ahead of time a tiny bit of Loctite on the 2 screws. I threaded the screw through this plate protector and threw in and started it. On the bottom, there is actually a little clip that helps hold the fuel hose in place underneath. The bolt goes through it first, and then through the protector, and then through the fuel pump into the block. And I torqued those up. Then I applied curved head cable ties. I applied these. I took these little caps off, the top and the bottom. And the out here goes to the carburetor, that goes on cable tie, and the in from the fuel tank and so on from the front of the motor is here with the cable tie. Now the motor is ready to test in the driveway. We'll just make sure I didn't do something foolish, and at least that it runs as well as it did before. It runs perfectly when you have it here at home under no load. But we'll test it, and tomorrow will be a water test. Okay, we'll put the muff on, preparing for the test run. Make sure it covers the hole nicely. If I was running this for an extended period, I would just use a bungee cord to hold that in place. But it's okay for now. Once that starts up, we're going to be watching for here. There's a little jet of water that's going to run out here. That's one thing I'll come out and look for. Make sure we've got water that it's going through and pumping. The new fuel line is plugged in and fastened, and we got this tank. This tank here is full, and what we'll do is pump a considerable amount here because we've got to fill everything back to the fuel pump, and the fuel pump was full as well. And there's what I don't like, a leak. Well, I ran into something. I went to prime this, squeezing the primer bulb on the hose, and there's a big leak here. One of the things was I hadn't tightened one of the ties well enough, and I thought that was just it. So I replaced both ties on these in and out lines. This little thing here, that's an auxiliary out. I guess this can feed too, and I just didn't think of that. The other one had a rubber cap on it, and it was zip tied, and it's an out, I guess, so you could go to another bank of whatever motors, but it's got pressure in it. Whoa. Now this little, I could zip tie this little thing down, but it doesn't seem very substantial. I could put a piece of hose on. I'd have to plug the hose. Okay, I've replaced the plug with a piece of 5/16 hose, and I've just got a temporary plastic plug in there. It's not really proper. It's a tube of caulking, but I'll find out the proper thing to put in there. But for test purposes, that's what I'll do. Well, that ran pretty well. It was cold, so I didn't bother warming it up, but the idle, you might have noticed, floats a little bit. But once it's warmed up, it settles down. It's pretty good. So I know at least it runs, and I tried revving it, make sure it goes. Next thing is to test it under load tomorrow in the water. There's 4,000. Yes. Oh no.